In this project, I show you step by step how to make this gorgeous lantern swag. So all you'll need is a 28-inch lantern and an assortment of greenery and your choice of ribbon and floral accents. Tag along as I make this project from start to finish. Hey y'all, it's Carla with Bella Vista Wreaths, and today we are working on a lantern topper for this lantern that my mom brought by. She asked if I could help her decorate it, and I said, of course, yes. So I just wanted to see for scale, it's quite large. It's a 28-inch lantern, just for a reference. And my plan is going to be using some florals and greenery that she brought by, a combination of different ferns and these more like yellow-green bushes. We're gonna cluster them up together. I mean, it's gonna look a lot better than that. And then add in some of these cattails. I've just got some of this pretty, what is this even called? It's a blossom branch. I don't know, some of this into it. And then the star of our show will be these white hydrangeas. They're kind of like an off-white, more like a cream. So then we're gonna add a pretty bow in there as well. It's going to look fabulous. At least that's what we hope. All right. So first thing I want to do first will be to get the base together. And like I said, I mostly just want to get some scale, and then we're going to put Mr. Lantern down out of the way. So I'm thinking, since this is quite a large lantern, you can kind of see, it's going to most likely have to get wrapped around the top here, and we can fill all this space. So I'm happy with something like that. And maybe I bring it down just a smidgy up at the top. I like the way that's going to be proportioned. All right. I think that's going to be good. We'll go ahead and we'll add in our first section of pipe cleaners. I'm going to do it right here. And I'm just gathering it right at the base of my stems and using the zip tie and cinching that in, just like that. And we're gonna repeat that just a couple more times, at least one more time with just this layer. And then as we add more layers to it, we'll be adding even more zip ties. So don't you worry, this is gonna be nice and secure. With my florals. And we're going to just layer this right into it, just like this. I like that. And then we'll do the same thing up on top. All right, I was like, what did I do with my scissors? These are some pretty ferns. I like these ferns. This is nice. All right, I'm gonna leave it on the long stem for now, and then we can chop off that stem in just a little bit. I'm just spreading my ferns out, and I'm gonna just marry them up together. Let's see if y'all can, let me lower the camera so y'all can see what I'm doing. That might help. Let's see. Just like that. Y'all don't need to see my face. Oh, you can kind of see it. All right. So I'm gonna just layer these together and intertwine them, marry them up. All right, just like that. And I'm gonna marry these up. And what I mean by that, by marrying them up, I'm just basically intertwining the two. So I'm pushing some of the lighter green branches to the front and pushing some of the ferns to the back. All right, just like that, and spreading it all out so that they look like they belong together, right? That's what I mean by marrying it up. All right, and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add another zip tie right on top. And don't worry, we're gonna cut the branches. So if you're wondering why my fingers are white, I've been doing a little spray painting project. There's a custom wreath I'm working on, and they wanted a monogram on the wreath. I was like, sweet, I can do that, no problem. I went to Hobby Lobby to try to find white lettered C's. Y'all, I could not find a decent one. I bought a couple and I didn't like the way they looked. They were just type font and not cursive lettering. So I decided that's not what I like. I'm just giving this a little bend so it's not so up and down straight, because it's gonna arch over the lantern. Anyways, so I order on Amazon the letter C that has the cursive font, and that was fine and all, except that it wasn't painted white, so I had to paint it, and that was a job, y'all. That was a job, and I got paint all over myself, but that's okay. It's totally worth it. It's called going above and beyond. Oops, I just said I wasn't gonna throw away the tags, but that's okay. This one also came, I think this one actually came from Michael's, now that I'm thinking about it. Now with this style, let me think. I'm gonna have to cut the individual branches because they don't have a clustering of them. So we're gonna just cut those up. So stuff prepped. I don't know if I'm gonna need this one yet, so I'm gonna put that off to the side. I'm definitely gonna be using this boy. This one I can zip tie in, so we're gonna layer him in first. And you know what? I'm gonna get the other one because there's one more. Be right back. Alright, let's see, y'all still with me? Alright, perfect. Make sure my phone didn't turn off by accident when I plugged it in. And I'm just spreading these apart. Nature does not grow in a straight line, y'all. It goes all wampus and all sorts of different directions. So don't be scared to move them around. Give them a little twist and a tug, and we'll be all right. So we're gonna add that, and we're gonna do the same thing with this one that's gonna go on the bottom. All right. Looking good so far, not too crazy. And if we want, we could always try to slide it in there. Though I did kind of make it tight. Oh, I can get this one. All right, that one worked out pretty nice. Very nice, very, very nice. Okay, there's that. Don't worry, y'all, I'm gonna trim those big stems. Trigger warning for y'all, just stay with me. I know. All right, let's see. I like that. Let's see if we can slide this one in there too. I suppose I could have layered some of these before I zip tied. Maybe that's what I'll do the next time. The next time I make it. Okay, that one's not wanting to be as generous. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna grab us another zip tie. I know, y'all. Stay with me. You know what, before I tie that too tight, should I go ahead and add this one first? Gosh, this is such a pretty floral. Y'all, take a look at the detail. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, it's so pretty. I'm a little nervous to cut it though. This is a $20 stem, y'all. $20 stem. Let me just double check it before I cut it. Before I commit to it, let's just take a look-see. Let's see what we're working with so far. So we're gonna do something. I know y'all can't see the whole thing. You know what? I'm gonna use one stem and I'm gonna cut it in half. That way I don't need to cut up another one. That's what we're gonna do. That'll be good. Okay. Need y'all to not panic. All right, it's going to look gorgeous, stunning. That's going to be for the top. So is, oh my gosh, this is so thick. So is that one and this last little one too. All right, y'all. These three are going to go up to the top. And this one's going to go to the bottom. We're just going to spread it apart just a little bit. Just like that. You know what? I'm going to slide it. I'm going to slide it into this zip tie real quick. Try not to dip my flowers into the hot glue. This is going to add a little dramatic flare and length to this. Because this is a big lantern, guys. All right?
5 minutes, guys.
It is a 28-inch lantern. So don't get scared, all right, y'all? All right, there's that. And just bring a couple of them up on top of this, just like that. Marry it up just a smidgy. That way it looks a touch more like they belong to each other, not just like it's sitting on top. And don't worry, we're still good. We're gonna cut all those extra long stems. I just haven't gotten to it yet. All right, y'all? Stay with me. Now for these, I don't know. We're gonna have to get a little bit more creative. Remember, our bow's gonna go here, so it's gonna cover up. It's gonna cover up quite a bit. So I'm gonna do a little zip tie here, and then I'll probably add in some hot glue as well. Okay, there's that one. And you know what? I should bring this a little closer since I'm using so many of these zip ties. We're getting zippy with it. Na, 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 na. Oh, stop. All right, and for this one, I'm going to put this one to the back layer. And then I'm going to zip tie it back here. And then we'll dab a little bit of hot glue on it. It's going to be right as rain. And layer in some of these. Let me just do a little trial run before I commit to the hot glue. And the way I'm gonna do this is I'm just gonna go right in between all of the stems that I have down. And some of these can go to the back, that's all right. This is a filler bush, it's a seeded filler bush. Just like that, 1, 2, 3, and I don't think I'm gonna need all of them. I'm gonna push some of it to the back, like that. Like this. And then I'll go through, after I've made my decision on it, because I think I do like it, and we'll just use the hot glue gun rather than dipping the whole thing in glue. Okay, let's take a little look-see. I'm feeling like we're gonna definitely need something right here. I just hope this one has a long enough stem. Let's see, how do we like that? I know it's looking a little bit crazy. Stay with me, y'all, stay with me. It's gonna look really cool. All right, I like that quite a bit. So we're definitely gonna use that. But first I want to layer in my flowers. I don't have very many of these. So we're gonna have to be pretty strategic on how we're gonna end up using it. We might have to, make the bow first before we make the final commitment. So I'm thinking we definitely are gonna need one on either side of that bow. Just like that, and maybe the last one, maybe we put underneath the bow really close, but I'm not quite sure just yet how I want that to look. So this feels like a good time to add in the bow. So we need to make the, y'all, I went ahead and I made the bow. I have an instructional video on how to make a multi-layer bow on my YouTube channel, so I can link that down below if y'all want to have an idea of how I make my bows. So I've gone ahead and I zip tied it, and then I added, before I clenched it cinched it closed, I added another zip tie to the back of it. So that's what we're going to use to go ahead and add it to our design. I'm gonna need to get my binding wire. I'm gonna make it extra long. My scissors down, I'm losing them. Be careful, this is very hot. Oh, okay. All right, and I'm just going to work this through right over my my bow, just like that. Flip this over. And give this a good few twists, just like this. And this is all wired, so that gives it even more extra stability. just like that. I feel pretty good about that. And that is how we're going to secure it to our lantern. So here's our lantern. Let's fix our ribbons. And we may still tuck this in and do a little waterfalling. I'm not. All right, so we've got our binding wire on the back right here, and we're just gonna take that and I'm gonna wrap it right around the neck of my arrangement. Just like this. And I'm just twisting it, keeping it as tight as I can. Twisting it and twisting it some more. Okay, and I feel pretty good about that. It's pretty secure, so that's good. And I'm just going to give this a nice extra long tail at the back. It's brown, the lantern's brown. It actually looks pretty cute and decorative. I could even curl it. That way it makes it look like it's meant to be a part of it. There we go. Just winding that binding wire right around my finger, giving it a little curly cue in the back. Okay, now let's focus on the front here. Ooh, y'all, I might need a step stool for this bad boy. He is a biggin'. I'm just gonna fluff up my bow a little bit. We've got 4-inch ribbon in here, and then 2.5, and then this open weave ribbon in here too. Now, we're probably gonna need to cut this ribbon, but one thing I'd like to do, let's see, I like this one in the back. That's good for me. But for this one, I'm thinking, what if we did a little cinch like this, and then I attached it to one of the greenery stems. Let's see if I can find one that's not the glued in one. Something like that. Like a billowing effect, but maybe on the side more rather than on the front. Maybe it's more like it's up here. I like that. Okay. And I'm going to use, yeah, I'm going to cut this in half. This is just a pipe cleaner, y'all. That's it. I'm going to give it one little twist here. And then I'm going to go right on in and find a good solid branch that's more near the back of all of this. You know what, let's cut it right now. I'm not going to do a dovetail on this, I don't think. Well, maybe we can. So I'm going to cut it in half. I'm sorry, fold it in half like a hot dog, and then give it a nice solid cut. I want this behind this. And I like to just kind of flip those tails up. Now this one behind this, I'll make this just a smidgy longer than the one before it. And like that. All right. So that's where we are right now. And then, now we just have to figure this one out. I'm thinking we keep this longer, cinch it in like this, leave that nice and long. And the longest solid branch that I've got down here, we're gonna zip tie it like this. Just like this. Give this a little haircut, a little trim, just like that. I'm going to dovetail the ends just like we did on the previous one. Just like that, and the same thing with this one in the back, with the last layer. So you fold it in half. Oh dear. I cut the wrong way. Or cut the other way. It's alright. I didn't go all the way through. There we go. No harm, no foul. And I'm just going to trim off that pipe cleaner that I have in the back so that it's less visible. And there we go. And there you'll have it. There is our lantern swag, all decorated and ready to go. Now, of course, the candle will be more visible. You know, we won't have all of that here, but I'm gonna, oh, you know what, it's okay, we can take this off. That way you can see the whole effect. And there it is. One lantern swag. And look how pretty this is. You can always keep playing with the little branches. This one's just so decadent. I love that twiggy branch. All right, I hope that she likes it. And here's the final results. I hope that you guys enjoyed this start to finish project and that you make your own lantern topper swag for your house and your home decor. This would be great as an everyday item, definitely for wedding season, spring, all year round. You could use something like this. Then you could change it out depending on the seasons. All right, y'all, give me a like, drop me down a comment, and let me know what you thought of this design. And what do you think I should make next? Thanks, guys.